आगे लाइव तो जितना
So here we are, 5:30, 5:31. We have become dingleted. We are almost always under time pressure because our producer goes to sleep. But on a different note, we have an exclusive for you. We have actor Mukhopadhyay speaking to Rajnikant, Dr. Rajnikant, Gukesh's father. So we will play that interview for you. Those visuals that Atre was sending from the prize distribution ceremony. Neil, if you can play some of those visuals, if you have them, unbelievably nice visuals. Trisha and Shomik can talk over it, and we will also get Atreo soon. Look at these visuals, fabulous visuals, Trisha. And then during the prize distribution, also, Neil, there are 1 million visuals which you can get together and play. Trisha.
absolutely. I think brilliant to see the crowd, because people keep talking about uh, youngsters getting interested in the sport. They're You can see those kids, even yesterday when Gukesh won, there were kids who were jumping up and down. They were excited and inspired. I mean, with Gukesh also the same thing had happened. He had watched Vishy Anand versus Magnus Carlsen, and he had decided, as Atrada said, and I found it extremely interesting that Atrada said Gukesh had actually thought it would be cool to be in the player's box and it would be nice to win. Now, when Gukesh has done it, there are so many who are probably thinking one day we can be there. And, I think this one moment, Shamikda, will change. Yes, of course, there were two gold medals at the Olympiad. So, yes, we were on a high, but this one is that highest point, which will, uh,
What is this? Rahul Rawat said no one watches
Hello.
chess on the platform, don't know about chess. Tell me, who is Rahul Rawat? Why are you mentioning Rahul Rawat here? Is Rahul Rawat of any consequence to anyone?
we have
Ex-
Rahul Giri. We don't
yeah,
have
we
any
don't. Is
Rawat.
Rahul Rawat of any consequence to anyone except Rahul Rawat in the toilet? So
Yeah.
leave him.
Yeah.
Leave it.
We have Rahul Giri, and
Yeah,
you can, of course, catch him
on
doing
football.
football reporting. Absolutely.
After you were there at the press prize distribution, Baba Bolo. And first you have to show me what have you got for us.
Yeah, show the memorabilia signature. I mean,
It's in the bag. It's in the bag. I can't take it out at the moment. I mean, it's in my bag. I got the autograph. Don't worry.
Fantastic. But tell us, and you also got more importantly, when is the interview coming? Because we want to play that interview. Arey, again, you are
See,
saying, but he accused you of
I
covering baseless.
it
So
was
fair
not, it was
enough,
not
man.
possible.
Acme.
It was
Firstly,
not possible to speak to Gukesh today.
Acme, 1 minute. 1 minute. Let me answer this. Somebody is accusing us of covering baseless.
baseless is what?
Basically chess.
Oh,
Yeah, we are covering baseless, right? They are not. Somebody else is not. Fair enough. So we are baseless people covering baseless sports like chess. Unfortunately, an 18-year-old has made India proud in front of the world, who is equally baseless, and we are just an extension of that little baseless person. The Prime Minister of India tweets, who is also baseless. The global world tweets in support, which is also baseless. So understanding of baseless henceforth has become different. Can we stop this? Done. Athro, now tell us.
Well, it was. It was a fairly, well attended distribution function. I think there were close to 200 people in that room. Entry was free. Today, people did not need tickets to get in over there, and there were long queues that we had seen in the previous visuals, which I had sent earlier. There was a very long queue to get inside that auditorium, and actually people were standing. I mean, there were about 100 people standing. There was no place to. There was no chair or sitting arrangement for them. So they stood there for about an hour, close to an hour, and went through the program, which was very well organized, and we all, we all have seen how it feels when the national anthem is being played in the arena of sports. So that was a big plus for us, for all of us to witness. And Gukesh said a few things. I mean, he was he's just a kid, okay. I mean, he may sound very, very mature beyond his age and all that. That's fine. But he's a kid. He's 18 years old. So he again thanked everybody and said that his journey has just begun. This is not the. I mean, this is just a stop. which is just a stopover. And we all know that he's going to take part in the
Actually,
World Rapid and Blitz
he
after this.
starts with Mount Everest, and then he will just climb down the lesser peaks.
See, I mean, people like him, players like him, who come once in a generation, they keep finding new peaks. I mean, Everest is a pit stop for him. I mean, he will go and look for more peaks to conquer. And the way he is going, I see a very bright future, not only for him but also for Indian chess. Because we in India, we do not always go by potential; we go by performance. We go by concrete results. So this is what we have got at the moment. I mean, Indian chess or Indian sports needed this spark, which has been provided by Gukesh. So I am sure that this will mark a new beginning, and we'll have many more players who will actually make their presence felt at the top level.
100%. In fact, in this Arjun Erigaisi 2,800 plus FIDE ratings, he is India's number one player, not Gukesh. In terms of FIDE ratings, think about it. I mean, you have multiple top 20, whether it is Gukesh, whether it is Arjun, whether it is Prag.
There
In
are
the
five.
next level,
There
you
are
have a
five in
Nihal.
20.
Correct. You have a Vidit, you have multiple players, and Arjun Erigaisi, people don't even talk about him so much.
Yeah.
It is an unbelievable crop of talent. But after, when are you sending us the interview? We have to play that interview.
Right after this, I mean, you want? I mean, I'll send it right after this one.
Why don't you
Over
quickly
the
go
line,
out,
huh?
send it,
In
because
that
we want
case,
to
in
play
that
it
case,
on the
give me a
live.
give me a give me a 2 minute break. I'll send it and I'll rejoin.
Go, go, because we want to play it so that you can
Yeah,
talk over
sure,
it. Absolutely
sure,
go.
sure, sure.
Absolutely go.
Yeah, yeah.
Done.
I'll do it
So
right away. Yeah.
done. Shomik, look at these visuals. Unbelievably nice visuals. There's Gukesh Domaraju. Look at this family. There's Dr. Rajnikant. So good. But before you take that, on a jocular note, when I was there, I made Rahul Rawat learn Olympic sport. After I left, he's also forgotten. Naughty kid.
Yeah. Mhm. And he's bothered about who's covering what.
No, actually, Rahul is a naughty kid. He's forgotten. बाच्चा है ना, वो
Ah.
पढ़ाई नहीं करता है. After the teacher leaves, he's forgotten his sport. But Shomik, tell me, beautiful visuals.
First, a piece of news. Tamil Nadu government has announced a cash award of rupees 5 crore for Gukesh. MK Stalin has tweeted. Um, that's to start with. And from Atriya's visuals, I saw a group of people were singing the national anthem, and an 18-year-old on top, an 18-year-old Indian on top of the world. I mean, a group of Indian were singing national anthem. Gukesh and Rabindranath in background. My day was made.
Trisha just asked me, how does Shomik get to know everything about Tamil Nadu government? What is the deal?
Yeah. I'm more interested in this now.
But somebody is asking, what is this? What is this question? Aniket Mishra. I don't know how you are managed. I at least get the English right. How I don't know how you are managed BGT tour generalists like Chapris, only spending money, nothing you will get. This is, I don't think even Oxford Dictionary would be able to decipher what you're trying to say, Ankit Mishra. But yeah, why are you spending so much time, energy, and effort using your intellectual acumen to try to understand how we are managing? यार छोड़ दे, अपना कचौड़ी जलेबी खा. क्यों इतना दिमाग लगा रहा है? इतना दिमाग लगाएगा तो नेक्स्ट गुकेश के बाद तू भी वर्ल्ड चैंपियन बन सकता है. वो सोच, छोड़ अभी इसको. बट शोमिक, लुक एट द क्रॉप. अर्जुन एरिगाइसी, गुकेश डोमाराजू, प्रज्ञानंदा रमेश बाबू, विदित गुजराती, निहिल सरीन. Unbelievable talent exists in Indian chess here, Shomik.
Vicious children, the way Gary Kasparov has said. Vicious children, and we are the era of vicious children upon us. And maybe going ahead a few years down the line, we'll see two Indians are fighting for the world title. That that looks like a real possibility. I mean, see, as you said, Arjun is the highest ranked Indian. Prague has defeated Carlsen a few times. Then Vidit is a top top talent. Nihal is there, and Gukesh is the world champion. So what more? And see, I want to go back to 1980s again. I mean, India winning the World Cup in 1983 was seismic for Indian cricket. Similarly, Vishy Anand becoming India's first Grandmaster in 1988 was equally important. That was, and he used to go to the venues with a couple of floppy disks, and these people, they have the privilege. This generation this generation has the privilege and backing and wholehearted backing. But think about Vishy Anand. Vishy Anand used to go with a couple of floppy disks. He didn't have anything. He has his mom in his support. That's it. And single-handedly, he broke the Soviet dominance in chess. And he is, unfortunately, he is still not the Bharat Ratna.
So you reckon more sports Bharat Ratna, Shomik, going forward?
Vishy Anand, obviously, absolutely, Vishy Anand. I mean, it's a travesty that he is still not a Bharat Ratna yet.
Dao Dao.
Huh?
Right?
Navanin, what are you doing? Why are you in the stream?
No, no,
with the audio?
he's basically saying Vishy Anand ke Bharat Ratna bana. He's saying Vishy Anand ke Bharat Ratna bana.
Dao, ekhuni dao.
But honestly,
Yeah.
he makes a very important point. Think
Yeah.
about it. Think about it. If somebody has made a fundamental contribution towards bringing
Absolutely.
India at the global level and doing it every single date, single time, look at this crop. Why would he not be given a Bharat Ratna?
Absolutely, I think, and the way he has, brought Indian chess and Indian chess players in the global map, credit where it's due. I think that we do not give him enough credit. Yes, we are celebrating him. Yes, a handful know about his achievements, but I think it's unfair that he's not a Bharat Ratna, because if you actually think of it from that sense of the term, he is a real Bharat Ratna. The way I remember during one of those Tata chess interviews, he had said that I believe in this crop. I know these kids, and I know these are some of the best in the world. He knew his kids. He knew that they are here to make a difference, and he was not wrong.
Absolutely not. And the point that Shomik just made, if we take a look at the history, Shomik, do you reckon sports has been discriminated against? By the way, folks, we'll just play the interview of Gukesh's father. It is being edited as we speak. A beautiful interview done by Atre Mukhopadhyay with Dr. Rajnikant. We will play that interview. Ready to play. Play it.
Late.
Neil Baba, play it.
With us, Dr. Rajnikant, Gukesh's father. Welcome to our to Rev Sports, sir. Congratulations once again. Sir, Gukesh spoke a lot about the sacrifices that the parents make. And I mean, you have. Can you tell us a little bit about this journey that Gukesh has had?
Okay, sacrifice is a big word. That's not a sacrifice. It's the duty of the parents to support the kids if they are talented in something. What he meant was like, okay, when he started the chess career, it was easier because in the beginning stage I could work my profession, and in the weekends I used to take him for the weekend tournaments or something. But once he was gaining rating and strength, and we had to travel abroad a lot, so one of us, me or my wife, had to take a conscious decision. Someone has to accompany him for tournaments, and someone has to continue practice. So I took a decision of traveling with him, and my wife took the decision of supporting the family economically. That's what he is telling. But this is natural. Any parent will do it for their kids. So it's not a big deal for us.
And I saw in the yesterday's interviews that he spoke about financial shortcomings and all that. How did you deal with that? Because playing chess, traveling, coaching, these things can be expensive.
Yeah, okay. Well, after a certain point of time, the coaching and the travel, all those these things. When you travel extensively for Europe to gain norms and all, it's a bit costly affair. Okay, okay, both of us were doctors, but when we were both practicing, we had a decent income and something. But once we have to travel abroad, like every month we used to travel at least one country or something like that. So at least half of that month I am not working, and in addition to that, we were traveling both my expenses and Gukesh expenses. So for almost like some 2017 to 2019, we were struggling because we were exhausting all our savings and resources before that. We were doing it for a purpose because he was close to becoming a GM or something. So we just want to give him more exposure and travel a lot of European tournaments. That period was little tough. Otherwise, after pandemic, we were not traveling, and I was working full time, and my wife was working. So we got our financial things sorted out. But by 2021, he started playing in top level tournaments. Most of his expenses are covered by his prize money. So not a big deal. Okay, for 2 years we struggled, yes, but after that it's been smooth. And once the sponsors have pitched in, now we don't have much of a financial struggle.
My last question, how gratifying is this to see this? I mean, all those things, the struggles that you went through, and after that, how satisfying or gratifying is it to see this?
The initial dream was this. The idea of taking him to chess was like I remember very well. He was the beginner, and I took him to this match between Magnus and Vichy that happened in our hometown, just to motivate him that this is a top level. So he got so influenced seeing people cheering Vichy and the atmosphere they were playing, all those things. And so he got really interested with the way the match was building up at that time. There was so much of hype around that match in our hometown, all those things. It all helped, and now I just took him to motivate him in something, and it happened like that. In 10 years, he's in the same match situation that he was playing. So as a parent, it's a really proud moment.
Thank you so much, sir, and congratulations once again.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful conversation there, Atrio. Again, a very humble man. Father, parent, no, that is just the job of the parent. At no point trying to take any credit. That's what stood out for me. Extremely humble family overall, Atrio.
See, I mean, yesterday I was trying to make this point when we were talking about Gukesh's post-match press conference, post-win press conference rather, that the first thing that came through was he's such a humble person. He was so humble and modest at the moment of triumph, at the moment of celebration, and now we see where that comes from. It doesn't happen just like that. It doesn't happen overnight. I mean, it's nobody is born with those qualities. It comes
Exactly.
from upbringing. It comes from the way you are brought up and the way you are taught the basic principles of life. And I think we got a glimpse of that in the conversation with Dr. Rajnikant. We can understand from that how Gukesh manages to remain so humble at the time of at the moment of ecstasy. So I think that gives us an idea. I mean, where it comes from. I mean, we have seen this written about Sachin Tendulkar. If you remember, a very famous cricket writer who is no more, he wrote that we see the fruit after meeting his Tendulkar's father. He wrote that now we see the tree where that fruit comes from. So this is a perfect example of that.
Absolutely, and from my interactions with Sachin, whoever used to go to their house would be made to sit, have a cup of tea. That's how his father was. That's how Sachin's father was, and he, in fact, was told on day one. If you read "Playing It My Way," the first page, he said, "Start with this." He said, "My father told me you will play cricket for 20 years, but you will live for 70 years. I don't want to know how you play your cricket. Maybe you will be a great, but I want to know how you are as a human being because you will live for 70 years. That is far more important to me than how you are as a cricketer." That's how the Tendulkar family is very similar to this particular family, Gukesh
Yeah,
Domaraju and his father.
these middle class values, they matter a lot. And I mean, well, possibly Mr. Rajnikant and his wife, the family is well off. But the thing is that they still have those middle class values, which has been transferred to their son, who managed to remain so. Again, I use the word humble time and again, but that is exactly how he was at the moment when he could have just said anything. I mean, it was his day, it was his moment. So he could have tore into people who had written him off before this match or before the candidate. There are some big names there. I don't want to get into those names anymore because we know there are some top names who said before the candidates that Gukesh is the least favorite to win it. He did that, and now he has done this. And at that point, to remain so poised and to stay so rooted is a very special trait which will take this boy a long distance.
I love that interview. We will play that interview again in a couple of minutes. Let me just take comments from Shomik and Trisha before that. Folks, couple of people, three, four people continuously writing about other things. यार एक important chess का show चल रहा है. Gukesh's father has spoken to a particular platform for perhaps the first time. Would you not want to watch this and talk rubbish? Sonu,
It was the first interview. It was the first
the first
interview, Bhuria.
interview. First interview, and by the way, we have been working on this. Atreo and I have been consciously working on this particular interview for the last several days. Otherwise, these things don't happen. तो इसको देखिए ना.
I
ये
mean,
देखा करिए.
after I spoke to Dr. Rajnikant, few other people were around. They also took his interview. But Rev Sports was the first platform that he spoke to after that win.
যখন মানে চালাবে mention this, it was the first interview and delighted. So my point is, whoever, Sports Warrior, Sonu, ABC, just focus on the quality that you are getting here. No, why are you wasting your time and our time? Don't. Shomik, your thoughts on the interview and the humility that's shown through.
Absolutely, and we have been talking about this in our afternoon show also. It's about the tree, as Athreyo mentioned. It's about the tree, and Gukesh always. I watched his press conference. I watched his interviews, and it's about his upbringing, the values that were put into this young kid. He and just don't forget, he's still a young kid, 18 years old. He's a college going. He is just about to leave high school and enter the college. So at that age, he has the world at its feet, and there is no reflection in his demeanor, in his body language. He is just absolutely humble. The way he looked, humility personified, and his father also. And it also stresses upon the fact how important is education in life. I mean, the other day I was reading a Venkatesh Iyer interview. Venkatesh Iyer was saying that, see, I am pursuing a PhD and I will play cricket for 10 years maximum, but this will stay with me forever. This PhD, if I can achieve it, this will stay with me forever. So that is the thing. Education is absolutely something which you cannot compromise with. That's the message this is coming from it. And just I will take one more minute as we are talking about whether our sports people have been discriminated in terms of conferring with the Bharat Ratna. If you see the number of sports people in Britain that that have been awarded with the knighthood, those have been knighted, and compare it with us, you, everyone will have that.
Your thoughts?
Absolutely. I think the interview was
Very
fascinating,
nice.
especially to see, a father completely taking second hand and almost scolding Gukesh that what is he saying? I mean,
About sacrifice.
sacrifice,
What
yeah.
sacrifice?
The best part is what I loved about it was you could actually understand that directly Gukesh, why Gukesh is that humble. Going back, probably his father would be saying, right, this is done, what is your next move? I don't think they are that kind of a family who would go completely crazy that he has won the World Chess Championship. Oh my God, what a big deal. They would be like, yes, very well done. We are super proud of you. What next? And it is typically middle class like us.
Arekbar chalo. Neil, play the interview one more time, please. Play the interview.
we have with us Dr. Rajnikant, Gukesh's father. Welcome to our to Ref Sports, sir. Congratulations once again. Sir, Gukesh spoke a lot about the sacrifices that the parents make. And I mean, you have. Can you tell us a little bit about this journey that Gukesh has had?
Okay, sacrifice is a big word. That's why sacrifice. It's the duty of the parents to support the kids if they are talented in something. What he meant was like, okay, when he started the chess career, it was easier because in the beginning stage I could work my profession, and in the weekends I used to take him for the weekend tournaments or something. But once he was gaining rating and strength, and we had to travel abroad a lot, so one of us, me or my wife, had to take a conscious decision. Someone has to accompany him for tournaments, and someone has to continue practice. So I took a decision of traveling with him, and my wife took the decision of supporting the family economically. That's what he is telling. But this is natural. Any parent will do it for their kids. So it's not a big deal for us.
And I saw in the yesterday's interviews that he spoke about financial shortcomings and all that. How did you deal with that? Because playing chess, traveling, coaching, these things can be expensive.
Yeah, okay. Well, after a certain point of time, the coaching and the travel, all those these things. When you travel extensively for Europe to gain norms and all, it's a bit costly affair. Okay, both of us were doctors, but when we were both practicing, we had a decent income and something. But once we have to travel abroad, like every month we used to travel at least one country or something like that. So at least half of that month I am not working, and in addition to that, we were traveling, both my expenses and Gukesh expenses. So for almost like from 2017 to 2019, we were struggling because we were exhausting all our savings and resources before that. But we were doing it for a purpose because he was close to becoming a GM or something. So we just want to give him more exposure and travel a lot of European tournaments. That period was a little tough. Otherwise, after pandemic, we were not traveling, and I was working full time and my wife was working. So we got our financial things sorted out. But by 2021, he started playing in top level tournaments. Most of his expenses are covered by his price money. So not a big deal. Okay, for 2 years we struggled, yes, but after that it's been smooth. And once the sponsors have pitched in, now we don't have much of a financial struggle.
My last question, how gratifying is this to see this? I mean, all those things, the struggles that you went through, and after that, how satisfying or gratifying is it to see this?
The initial dream was this, the idea of taking him to chess was like, I remember very well, he was the beginner, and I took him to this match between Magnus and Vichy that happened in our hometown. Just to motivate him that this is a top level. So he got so influenced seeing people cheering Vichy and the atmosphere they were playing, all those things. And so he got really interested with the way the match was building up at that time. There was so much of hype around that match in our hometown, all those things. It all helped, and now I just took him to motivate him in something, and it happened like that. In 10 years, he's in the same match situation that he was playing. So as a parent, it's a really proud moment.
Thank you so much, sir, and congratulations once again.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful interview. No frills, no nonsense, not crying for money,
Yeah.
just very matter of fact. Beautiful interview. I mean, beautiful interview. This is exactly how it should be. Somebody is wanting to compare. Folks, don't compare achievements. The T20 World Cup win was massive. So is Gukesh. So the 29 medals in the Paralympic Games. You want to be a multi-sport country. You don't want to be a one-sport country or a one win country. That's collective sport and team sport. Paralympics is different. Multi-sport games. This is different. Disability sensitivity as important. Chess as important. That's the whole idea about a multi-sporting country. So don't compare. Someone was comparing about Chess Base India. That's a specialized chess platform doing wonderful work. A different kind of platform. If there is a badminton platform, a hockey platform, a football platform, every such platform is welcome because it will add to the fraternity. Ultimately, the problem with us, and this is a larger point, is It's a very small fraternity, and each one of us are going for each one of us. Unfortunately, nobody likes each other. We are the worst enemies of each other, sports journalists. Despite being this small a community, everyone hates each other. What for? What for? There is space for everybody. Do quality work, do good work. Why is this competition against who and why? What are we gunning for? We don't understand that. So I will say this, that as far as we are concerned, our motto is clear: holistic, comprehensive, multi-sport coverage which is disruptive. Closing words, Atre Mukhopadhyay, what a wonderful tour, what wonderful work by you. This will forever be one of the greatest events that you have covered. After this, I will go to Shomik and close with Trisha.
Yeah, Buria, as I mentioned earlier in conversations with you all, that I was very, very scared when I came here. See, truth be told, that I am basically a cricket reporter. I have written on other sports, many other sports other than cricket, including chess. But to do that is something, and to be physically present at the World Chess Championship match is something completely different. So I was actually terrified. I mean, that is the word I use repeatedly. I was terrified by the prospect of coming here. Then when I came here, slowly things started falling in place, and there were too many draws, which drove me crazy. But after that, the things started happening, and we all know after that what happened. I mean, to be a sports journalist for so many years, and to have witnessed this is a privilege of mine. I witnessed history in the history of world chess. I mean, youngest ever champion, the second ever world champion from India, and I mean, beating the defending champion with black pieces in the last game. From that situation, it was I mean, completely extraordinary, and I go back richer in experience.
Not just experience of covering chess, but also richer in experience of closing a tripod, as Amartya Chakraborty has just written. The tripod টা বন্ধ করতে শিখেছে তো আত্রেয়দা. So Atreya in every sense is
Every tour that Atrada goes to, he actually lives or actually inspires me in the sense. Atrada, don't feel bad when I say this, but at his age to
eh,
reinvent
ওনার
himself.
আমি তৃতীয় অবস্থা 3 বছরের বড়, as if তুমি এখন ভাব করছো যেন he's 75.
He's older than me, unfortunately. And I gave a disclaimer, that, but he keeps reinventing himself,
No, the truth is,
learning
the
himself,
truth is,
learning.
1.5 years back when he first covered video cricket,
It
when
was
during
See,
like
my
that,
time,
yeah.
he
this
don't know.
job is
He
about
did
that.
not.
This job is about this. I mean, this profession is about this. I mean, you never know what you're going to come across. So be prepared. I mean, be prepared to work hard, and be honest to yourself, be honest to your organization, and try and do the best to your abilities. After that, what happens will happen. I mean, we don't know whether we are going to win or lose. It's
Very
like a
simple.
game of it's like a game of football or game of anything. That the outcome is not in your hand, but you can try. You can try,
My
and
point
end of
is,
the day, you must tell yourself whether you have tried hard enough or not. If no, if no, then there is dissatisfaction. If you try hard enough and lose, there is I mean, always there is a way ahead.
the point is very simple. Let's close on this. I don't think Atreya was ever a cricket reporter.
Yeah, true.
People branded Atreya a cricket
Correct.
reporter.
Correct.
Did Atreya ever do it? Did Atreya go and do an Olympic Games or a FIFA or something? Would he have not excelled? Who says so? Did anyone
He
say
didn't even
that?
have the chance.
Exactly. Did anyone say that go and do a FIFA World Cup and come back and tell me? No. Unfortunately, in our country, we have only sent people out to cover particular cricket events. In fact, I was stunned when Athro told me this morning that mainstream newspapers have not even sent their correspondents to this particular game.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, no mainstream paper, except a couple, let's not name them here, we did not
I'll tell
have
you, there were three.
mainstream
I'll tell you,
papers
there were
sent.
three. There were three representatives from the Indian print media. That's all. Two English, one from Kerala.
So that is the point. I mean, so when, and I know, and I understand why, because the editors who are sitting at the top of news organizations unfortunately don't know jack of sport. whether it is news TV or it is print. For them, only when someone wins a championship is it news.
Yeah.
And as a result, what happens, because they are political reporters, you will see the prime ministerial tour will always be covered. A Jaishankar tour will always be covered. But a sports event, it will become a budget issue.
Yeah.
As a result, and I've also seen this, most companies, they are by business people. No disrespect or nothing like that. There is no platform by journalists or for journalists. That's where I think we can make a difference.
Yeah.
Because this is a platform by journalists, for journalists, we exist for sport. We will not make money, all of us know. All of us know that in this profession, nobody will make enormous amounts of money. But what we can do is we can make a big difference. And we will.
Absolutely.
We can 100% make a big difference.
And
We are
taking
doing
baby
that.
steps towards
We are
that.
taking baby steps. Our studio will be state of the art. Our studio will be state of the art in March. We are spending multiple crores in doing that. Why? Because we will convert this into a 24/7 operation in a year from now. India's first 24/7 digital sports operation, multi language. So we have a clear cut plan where we are headed, exactly like the Indian chess revolution. But to round off, this is not about us, it's about Gukesh. Think an 18-year-old world champion, his journey, as Atreyu said, has just started. Think of an Arjun Erigaisi, think of a Gukesh, think of a Prag, think of the whole generation of chess players, and you know what impact a certain Vishwanathan Anand has left in the history of Indian sport and history of Indian chess. I will not stop this till I get the two of them to our conclave.
Absolutely.
Have to get the two of them to our conclave. Needless to say, because that is one session which has to happen. Show me closing comments, 30 seconds, and I'll give Trisha 30 seconds, and then Atreo can close it out with 30 seconds.
You see, it's sort of a weird feeling in the sense, as Atul said, I mean, for nearly 3 decades, I'm also an out and out cricket correspondent. Like you and Atul were there at Wankhede in 2011. We three of us were there. I was there when India won the Champions Trophy in England, coming back from the dead. But somehow I could connect with Gukesh a little more than those achievements. I'm not belittling those achievements, but somehow I could connect myself more with this achievement. This is, I think, maybe it could be his age, or it could be the fact that, I mean, this is, maybe we didn't expect it playing against the defending world champion, but whatever it is, as a sports reporter also, and I completely see myself as a reporter. I'd never take a side, whether India playing or whoever playing, but somehow I could connect myself more to Gukesh than those past achievements. That is it.
Your thoughts?
Absolutely. I think last few hours since the time Boryada suddenly texted me, because I was also one of those who had switched off the YouTube channel because it was going for a draw. We were sitting with the schedule, and suddenly Boryada texts, you know what? He has won. Let's go live. From then on till now,
Madness.
it has been madness. But love this madness, and I would still follow my passion, and of course all the sports persons covering sports is a pure joy. I mean, yes, there are of course disappointing days, and lot to learn from Gukesh. For the last few hours I'm seeing Gukesh's father's interview. A lot to learn. It has been brilliant.
Atreo, travel safe, come back safely, and biryani awaits. After this world championship, biryani on you.
Sure. And I would just like to close by saying this, that I said this at the beginning of this show, that in India, we do not appreciate potential. We only look at performances, and we do not always follow sports. We follow stars. So for Indian chess, this was happening. This was happening. This was on the card. The first sign was seen in the 2022 Olympiad in Chennai, where India's men's and women's team both won bronze medal. Then Pragyananda finished runners-up in the World Cup last year. After that, Gukesh won the candidate. After that, India won gold medals in men's and women at the Chess Olympiad this year. but still, I mean, there was no, I mean, not exactly an upheaval. I mean, in terms of support, in terms of media attention, yes, media did cover, media did give some space to test at that point in time. But in the long run, I mean, looking ahead, I think there has to be a rethink on how we look at sports, how we treat sports, and we needed a spark, and we got an explosion here. So let's end on that note.
কলকাতা আর হায়দ্রাবাদি বিরিয়ানি, ডিম আর আলু ছাড়া বিরিয়ানি হয় না। গল্প শেষ।
Kolkata.
গল্প শেষ। বাই দ্য
By
ওয়ে,
the way, one parting words to Afro, that is fabulous coverage. Congratulations. And number two is that don't forget to pick up what I have told you while you come back.
দেখো,
What is
and
it?
this is not Paddy Upton's dinner party going on. So Trishanti might protect my memorabilia and give it to me the moment you land in Calcutta.
Right, right. We'll do that.
Okay, folks, thank you very much for watching. Time for Trisha and me to go for a Sol Campbell interview. Anyone interested in football, you will get that tomorrow. A Sol Campbell interview and
Don't
Navdeep
forget
Singh.
Navdeep Singh.
Our little Navdeep is also in Calcutta. We've got to celebrate him. He's one of our favorites from the Paralympic Games, Markasam. So we'll end on that note. Thank you very much for watching.